Like, this is all new for me, guys, because I was in a long, almost 30-year relationship.
Actress Tisha Campbell has had a successful career for over 30 years, but reveals her divorce from Duane Martin.
This is the first time I've ever been so detailed. My brothers never even knew exactly. When I was watching, I was like, I said all that. I felt, completely exposed.
You know nothing about good drama if you don't follow the bitter vibes between Duane Martin and his ex-wife, Tisha Campbell. Apparently, right when Martin thought he could move on with his life, Tisha came forward with more nasty and ugly details of their marital life, totally freaking her ex-spouse out with her hardcore truth.
Like, no one knows this, and I'm revealing this right now.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Celeb Live Channel. It's no secret that Duane Martin and Tisha Campbell has had their fair share of drama in the past, and that all seem to have started since the beginning of their marriage. However, even after the divorce that came as a shock for many fans in 2018, the ex-couple doesn't stop bickering to much of the public amusement. And it feels like Tisha is about to spill it all and totally destroy Martin's image with her bombshell revelations.
Pay attention to certain signs, some certain differences, complete differences, turnabouts.
After nearly 30 years of marriage, Tisha Campbell decided she had enough of her husband, Duane Martin's toxicity, and she filed for divorce, leaving fans wonder what could have been the reason of this seemingly strong couple falling apart. As a source first said, there was no singular issue that drove them apart, and as it turned out in the future, Tisha had a lot to get off her chest, starting with Duane's interesting intimate choices and extramarital shenanigans with his own friends, and ending with repeating episodes of domestic mistreatment. Looks like Duane Martin has a lot of mending to do to his own reputation after Tisha's shocking revelations. And sources now say that the actor panics that his image in Hollywood is going to be destroyed if anyone believes his ex-wife.
So Tisha, we really admire your bravery.
Apparently, Tisha had been through a lot during her marriage to Duane, and she chose to close her eyes to many things this man had been doing. Right after she filed for divorce, Tisha also filed on for a restraining order against Martin, claiming he has been physically harsh in their relationship for years. She claimed, I had been emotionally, mentally, and physically mistreated. I kept things hidden from my family, his family, our friends, and the public. The actress said in her filing that the most recent episode had happened a few months before she filed for divorce. It was particularly nasty, when Martin tried to get intimate with her against her will. And knowing Tisha's heartbreaking story about being mistreated in her childhood, I don't want to imagine what horrors she had relived back then. Well, no wonder that she filed for divorce almost immediately after that disgusting episode.
Sometimes there's so much guilt and shame and embarrassment and even protection.
As Tisha said, she always believed she was a strong woman by keeping her ex-husband's alleged mistreatment under wraps, but now admits she's scared that he will continue his wild activities with a new victim. As the actress added, she felt embarrassed by speaking out, but the truth about his toxic nature was more important than her shame. I can no longer live in fear of retaliation. The need to press criminal charges for his acts overshadows the embarrassment of making his crimes against me public through this report. While this one episode is enough to realize the depths of Duane Martin's horrible nature, it's not the end of the story. And as Tisha says, her eyes opened after Lisa Ray McCoy's revelations about her husband, Michael Missick, sleeping with Duane Martin.
Somehow within that relationship, I lost my husband to Duane Martin. And when I introduced them, that was one of the worst things I ever did.
It looks like Martin was also exploring his intimate preferences back in the days, and he found nothing better than to connect with all the available men with the help of his friends. So, this is basically how Duane allegedly got into the entanglement with Lisa Ray's husband, Michael, and as the actress stated, this bromance with benefits ruined her marriage. Tisha was not even shocked to find out about this side of her now ex-husband. Knowing his sick nature, she is not surprised that more nasty secrets and hidden truths are coming to see the light. And apparently, Lisa Ray's ex-spouse wasn't the only lover boy in Duane's bed. Now, it seems like Tisha is breaking down everything about her miserable ex. And as she said, she was guessing about that bromance between Will Smith and her own hubby, but didn't expect them to last.
But I never counted on them lasting or standing the test of time.
Apparently, it went unnoticed for Tisha when her husband was getting it in out of a country with longtime friend Will Smith, and paparazzi spotted the alleged couple of lovers in Trinidad, Miami, and even Rio spending quality time together. Social media users are beyond shocked by the recently resurfaced truth about Martin's toxic side. They believe that he has been doing Tisha dirty for all 3 decades of their union and don't feel sorry for him at all. As one user wrote, "Shame on you, Duane Martin. How could you do that? To her, that was not right at all. Cheating?" And another user added, "He was probably jealous of her career. She was the one working steady, he wasn't." It looks like it took Tisha a lot of courage to break free from the restraining chains of her toxic marriage. And once this lady found her freedom, she realized what a nightmare she'd living in all these years, and she became to warn other people about the things she'd been through so every other woman would see the repeating pattern in their own marriage.
Lucky enough to be a part of some really historical things. It shocks me even
As one insider claimed, Tisha was staying with Duane mainly because of their kids. And if you don't know, guys, the ex-couple welcomed 2 boys, Zen in 2001 and Zar 2009. After the actors went through a tumultuous 2-year-long divorce, the family of 4 shifted into a co-parenting dynamic, with one source claiming she did consider conscious uncoupling, and she was going to do that until the kids got a little bit older. But ultimately, she decided to move forward with the divorce from him. Despite having a child with special needs and a plethora of projects to work on full-time, Tisha decided enough is enough, and now she is on to a new goal of her life, to show the real nature of her horrible ex.
And I chose to go a different route, much to the dismay of some of the people who advised me, but I think it was the best choice.
And here's one reason why Tisha couldn't bear to stay with Duane any second longer. The actress also opened up about the devastating financial toll her split caused, explaining she was penniless and nearly homeless during the divorce process. Tisha Campbell accused her ex of hiding and misappropriating funds during their marriage. They filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy a year before their tumultuous split, alleging their debts totaled over $15 million. However, as it turned out, Duane received financial help from none other his bro, Will Smith, and he used the loan to buy a house, sell it for $1 million, and pocket the profits. In the end of the day, Tisha wasn't even sure how she was going to survive, while her toxic ex had the necessary sum in his wallet.
God, this is a different change in my life. Am I going to make it? I don't know.
As the actress stated, it was a horrible moment, realizing what a low dog her spouse was. At some point, checking her bank account, Tisha was crying from devastation. As she claimed in her interview, I had nothing. No one knows that, but I had nothing. Nothing in the bank. Nothing. I had maybe $7 to my name and I was scared. It was like I was starting all over. However, as Tisha later proved to herself, he didn't need a man next to her side to make it big. And now, looking back at her hard past with Duane Martin, she perceives these years as the hardest lesson to learn.
Any type of devastation can be a beautiful devastation when you come out on the other side and you keep trucking.
Now, 3 years after her divorce from Duane is finalized, Campbell is in a much better space, financially and emotionally, and she feels that therapy and work helped her to get back to her real self. Now she sees her ex-spouse through a new perspective, and she wants to make the world see this person for he really is, and she's not afraid to speak against him.
It's a different thing for me. Sometimes there's a little bit of guilt, but I know that I have to do what I have to do.
Now it seems like Tisha can't forget herself forever trusting this person, and she wants to warn a new potential partner of her ex-hubby to be cautious, because being with Duane Martin is like playing with fire and you risk to burn yourself. Many users share the same sentiment as Tisha when they comment on this situation on social media. This user wrote, Tisha shouldn't have put all her hopes and money in Duane's hands. She should have gotten a prenup. And another netizen added, maybe that's why Duane Martin doesn't have much of a career now. It's called karma. What goes around comes around. Well, my hope that Tisha would find strength to move on from that horrible drama and forget about those years she had wasted on him. And what do you think about this, guys? Is Duane Martin actually that evil as Tisha portrays him? Or is she also to blame in their marital problems? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to know what you're thinking. And in the meantime, check my other videos about the true side of the celebs unions. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.